Hi, welcome everybody to this video where I will be giving an introduction to the offshore super vessel sector. So, the offshore super vessel sector are versatile ships designed to provide logistics and technical assistance to offshore installations, like oil rigs mainly, but also wind farms and others. In the OSV sector, different types of vessels are included. I listed some of them in case you want to look at it. And all of them participate in the offshore cycle, from the construction of platforms to the maintenance and the removal. This is a sector that has some similarities to real estate, to give an easy comparison. First of all, because of the capital intensity, then because of the supply-demand lag, also by the fact that ships generate rent in front of charter rates or day rates, as they are called. Additionally, because companies pay a lot of attention to the utilization rates of the vessels, because amortization and depreciation plays an important role in the costs. And on the other side, the differences with real estate would be that ships have shorter lives, from 20 to 25 years, also that assets can move globally, and also the extreme volatility of the day rates or rent. The rent in the OSVs are the day rates. The contracts of the vessels are usually very short term. This is why they are usually measured to the day. In this slide, I added the evolution of the day rates with a base of 100 from the last years. From 2010 to 2014, the supply of ships was falling under demand. But from 2014, with the boom of fracking, onshore oil became the main source of production. This led to a less use of the OSV fleets that are involved in the offshore. Additionally, during the 2017, it was when the ESG started to become a thing. So those companies, on top of facing a difficult market, they had difficulties to finance themselves because of the supply-demand lag as well. The new vessels were still being produced in a declining market, which made the situation worse for the companies. During those years, a lot of companies went bankrupt because of it. And at the end, over time, the fleet aged and the supply demand started to adjust to the actual levels that we are seeing. To understand the cyclicality of the sector, we should keep in mind that the construction of an OSV can last from 20 to 48 months, depending on the complexity of the ship. This leads to a delay between supply and demand, obviously, and the market is only able to react after these 20 to 48 months to the market. Another topic to keep in mind is the dependency to the offshore development of oil. With high prices of oil, energy companies tend to invest heavily in the new offshore explorations and drilling projects, causing a surge in the demand for OSVs to support this new production. But in low prices of oil, companies usually immediately postpone or cancel projects, and since OSVs are hired on the short-term contracts, they are usually the first ones to be fired, leading to very low utilization of the fleets very rapidly. Wind farms, on the other side, bring some stability to this sector, but they are still a very small minority of the services provided. On the other side, the opportunities of the OSV could come by the exploration shift, as onshore deposits become exhausted. Despite higher cost, the industry is increasingly focusing in offshore now. New offshore fields represent approximately 70% of the total volume of the new fields in 2024, and this would represent that the fleet of OSVs might need to increase if this trend persists with time and there are no new technological disruptions in the sector that could bring the production of oil back to the onshore. Now, let's look at the bad side of the sector. In this sector, between 60 to 80% of all assets of the companies are vessels, and during the low day rates times, the value of the profitability of the vessels can drop significantly, which means that in those times the firms will record important impairments because the vessels are less profitable and there is an excess of vessels in the market, which also can get even worse because of the supply demand lag that makes bad scenarios to persist for some years before it can recover. And with all this being said, thanks for watching and see you in future videos.